Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today. And though you've come through many obstacles.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my first impressions reaction to The Great, Episode 1. So this is an interesting thing I'm doing here. So this is a first impressions reaction. We've done those before, but this is also a donation reward. And that's unusual. This is a donation reward for Venom0027. I don't know what this show is at all, but I was not only requested to do this as a donation reward, but I was actually specifically told I could do it as a first impressions to see what I would think of it before, like, just throwing myself into the full series. And that is weird. Like, to do a first impressions reaction for a donation reward is a weird concept, but you guys can suggest those for sure. If you're unclear on whether or not I'd like a show, if you think that it would be best to just do a first impressions reaction and, like, just to make sure if I like the show or not, that's something you can do. But like I said, I know nothing about this. I don't know who's in it. I don't know what it's about. All I know is that it's apparently a Hulu series, for whatever that means. I know what Hulu is. It's just, I don't think I've ever seen a Hulu series. And I know what to expect for, like, a Netflix series, or even a Amazon Prime series like The Boys or whatnot. But again, I don't think I've ever seen a Hulu series, so I don't know, like, what to expect going into something like that. And again, since I just generally know nothing about what this is, it's just hard to say in general what I'm going to think about it at all. I can't say. But yeah, so since this is a first impressions reaction, as a reminder, we are watching the first episode. It is a hour-long episode, and we will judge it from there on whether or not I want to continue doing reactions to it, or whether or not I think it would be better to watch on my own time, or if it's just something I'm not interested in even. But the thing is, no matter what the case, it's a unique situation. It is definitely something I've never even thought about doing. But again, no issue with that. If you want to do that for future requests, anyone, you can. But yeah, with no idea what to expect, it's next to impossible to give any clear thoughts on this. So we're just going to get into it, hope for the best, and see what this series has in store. Like, I can't even base anything off the title. It's such a vague title. It could mean anything. So we'll just see. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. Okay, and we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Yeah, it was a very good thing, Venom, that you chose to have this as a first impressions. I think that maybe there's I can't claim to speak for you, but maybe there was a part of you that knew I wouldn't like this. Um, but you wanted to give it a go anyway. Again, I can't speak for you. I can't speak for what your mindset was when you suggested this and everything, and specifically when you suggested it as a first impressions and all. But yeah, the thing is, it's not even just that this isn't something I would normally watch. I'm not huge into historical like period pieces kind of thing. It's not my thing. Um, it's not even so much that though, because the thing is, I don't know how clear it was through my reaction. Um, Notably through my how quiet I got. I guess I could say. At least I felt I was being extremely quiet there during the second half of the episode. Um, but I don't know how apparent it was, but I was hating this, not just disliking it, hating it. And there's multiple reasons, there's multiple things that I could say about it. Um, there's general stuff like the pacing was, in my opinion, kind of trash. Um, there's a lot of just there was no consistency to this episode. It's just like a bunch of random shit happening. Just a bunch of random events that this girl's going through to show how terrible this life is. There's no actual consistent, thorough plot thread throughout the episode, I feel. Um, it's not even so much the rampant, horrifying sexism and just despicable actions of the Emperor, of Peter. It's just everything about Peter, everything about most of the characters in this is just entirely vile to watch. And I get that that's the point. I understand that this is clearly satirical. I understand that this is clearly meant to be kind of a joke comedic series about this kind of thing. Um, and there's definitely, I feel like, an appeal to some people here just for, the comedic aspect of the rise of Catherine the Great and everything. But as I'm watching this, I am just seething. And again, I don't know how apparent this was, but I was seething every time anything happened, pretty much. When he shot the bear, when he gut punched her, when he burned down the building that was going to be the school, just because it was going to be for women. Just, again, even if that's the point, it's still done in a way that makes me so just unbelievably pissed off that it makes this not just hard for me to watch, but it actively, I can't continue to watch this. Putting myself in that kind of emotional state, I can't do that. Like, there's certain movies or shows or whatnot where, yeah, I get angry at a character or whatnot, but if it goes to a point where it's actually like affecting me this heavily, where I'm this pissed off to where it's like I feel like it's dangerous for me to continue watching this, for me to get this upset at it and everything. Um, I think it's a good idea to just say no. because there's just a certain point where I just I have to put my emotional health first, and this series just it's I can't deal with this. I can't. It's not again. It's not even so much that it's just not my thing. It's not any individual specific um, issues with these characters or with the story or whatnot. It's kind of everything together, just combining to create this like tidal wave of unhealthy emotions for me that I cannot actively find a healthy reason or anything like that to put myself through. I apologize, but again, I have to put my emotional and mental health first. And this, sometimes there's just a series or a movie that just does it for me. That just, I cannot continue watching because it's too much for me to be able to handle. The emotions just get too strong to a very unhealthy degree. And I can't justify that for myself. So yeah, I again, I understand it's a comedy. I understand it's a satire. I get what it's going for. It's very clear based on the way they speak, the things they say, all of that. I get that, but there's some even satires and stuff that just I can't do. There's some things that just bother me to too high of a level to be able to just accept. And also, on top of that, for a satire, I didn't even find it funny. Like, there was maybe one or two things that were slightly, very, very fucking slightly chuckle worthy. And that's it. There was definitely no laugh out loud moments, no really heavy, funny bits in it. It's just, I found it really annoying in a way with its humor. And again, with just how much I hated pretty much everyone and everything, it's just, mm. Again, I understand that's the point, but it doesn't make it easier. And it doesn't make these emotions from it any less unhealthy. So I do apologize, but again, it's a very good thing that you suggested I do this as a first impressions. And I almost feel like maybe you knew that, maybe even if it was just an inkling. You can let me know for sure. Obviously, again, I can't speak for you, but either way, I hope you understand my reasoning. It's just I can't do this. Not this show. Not like this. But not everything's going to be a hit. That's just how things work sometimes. Um, Please feel free to suggest anything else you desire in the future. I'm willing to give anything a chance. I am. So, yeah. Thank you so much for suggesting this nonetheless. And for what it's worth, Elle Fanning, Nicholas Hoult, all of them, they did a great job in their roles. Like, they performed their roles very well. But it's like I could not get into it. even as for as great as their roles were, or as their performances were. Um, but either way, thank you for understanding. It's just this series is not for me, clearly. Um, Thank you so much, and for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.